people used that station last year, and that is 50% up, in fact more than 50% up on the year before. So 328,000, and then do the math on this, there's just 350 car parks, and there's actually only one bus service that services Rockbank Station. So it's probably the biggest example of how growth in the West has outpaced the infrastructure. Councillor Steve Abboushi is the Mayor of the City of Melbourne. Mayor, hello.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we've talked to you a lot, but not often in person, so it's lovely to see you.
Welcome to the City of Melton.
So how long have you been the Mayor of Melton?
Just under 12 months, or coming close to 12 months at the moment.
And you live in Melton?
Yes, I live in the City of Melton.
So tell me, have you ever joined the Rockbank car park bun fight?
I haven't. I live on the other side of the municipality, which is a little bit more developed, but we experience the same issues around. I live close to Taylor's Road, and it's really tough. It is really hard to navigate traffic during peak, especially during peak hours.
So if I said to you, give me, and I'm not going to do all negative because I know people have chosen to live here because they love it, but if I asked you to give me a list of all the things that you are missing here, what would you tell me?
Down in here, we're definitely missing an electrified train line.
Promised in 2018.
Yes, that is absolutely essential for our community. We need an electrified train line. We need to separate the Ballarat line from that to increase capacity and make the services more direct.
This is all happening as part of the Sunshine upgrade,
Correct.
Which is part of the rail link to the airport. But that's, for something that was talked about for the first time years ago, that's still a way off, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We're thankful for the $600 million investment in upgrading the Melton line, which will pave way for electrification of that line. But still no commitments to electrification at the moment. They're doing the works, as you said, at Sunshine. And we also need some new train stations, which we believe then will alleviate a lot of the congestion at Rockbank.
So one at Mount Atkinson, which is just down the road, and the other one...
At Thornhill Park.
Are they, I don't know, on a drawing board somewhere in the Department of Transport?
Again, they're listed in the PSPs as essential.
What does that mean? What's that?
The precinct structure plans. A lot of the developers have mentioned it in a lot of their material, but that hasn't come to pass, and there's no commitments on developing those train stations. We know that train stations in those areas, which are the fastest growing suburbs in Australia, will alleviate a lot of that congestion.
What about road transport? And I'm thinking of, which we just were hearing there about Leakes Road. I just drove down Leakes Road. I mean, it is just, it's extraordinary how busy it gets, but then people trying to turn left or right off it, whether it's to get into the train station or to get into Woodley. It's an issue. Yeah,
it is an issue, and it's a multi-government responsibility. So that interchange there is state government, and the Western Highway is federal government. As you know, the federal government has committed $1 billion to upgrade that. And we're looking, so as a local council in our powers, we're looking at introducing a roundabout at Westcott Parade to help people turn left, turn right, but ultimately the state government needs to do something about that intersection through an interchange, and that needs to happen as soon as possible. Have
you got the funding to do the roundabout?
Yes, through council. So we're going to do the roundabout, which is just up from the interchange, but ultimately that intersection there needs an interchange, and we're hoping that the $1 billion that is committed to the Western Highway will go towards building that interchange at that intersection.
You're listening to Steve Abboushi, who is the Mayor of the City of Melbourne, because Drive is coming to you this afternoon from the Woodley Town Centre in Aintree, which is in Melton. So that's a couple of the infrastructure challenges. I mentioned just before the 73 babies that are born every week.
It's actually gone up to 76.
It's gone to 76,
yes,
okay.
It just keeps increasing.
And, you know, when you do fast forward to when these kids are going to need a school, that is, as you've said, 3 new classrooms, basically every week.
Every week. So at the moment, I mean, we need more primary schools and more high schools. My worry is about secondary schools, because the state government is building primary schools. Yes, we do need more, but not as urgent as secondary schools at the moment. Including the private sector in education, we have about 18 secondary schools, and if we continue, as you know, 76 babies born a week, if the state government doesn't start planning that now, we are going to be in a desperate situation where people are potentially going to leave the municipality just to access a local school.
And we've already got that problem with people leaving to access jobs, which we're going to have a look at later in this hour. But Steve Abboushi, tell me a little bit about this area, about Melton. Culturally, you've got 36%, I think, at the last census born overseas. 90 languages.
Yes.
So draw me a picture.
Look, our diversity is our greatest asset. We have people from all over the world, and as the member of the community just said, he's here, he has a home kitchen, and he knows if he comes, he's going to be supported. We are a supportive bunch. We like to help small business. So we have... the diversity is just incredible.
And it's young too. Your major population centre, as I understand it, is age, I should say, is late 30s.
33-year-old is the sort of median age, and over 50 or close to 50% are young families. So we're a younger community, and we have those issues that young communities, like myself, young families have, and that is getting children to school on time, that is accessing maternal child health services, to
getting a
support your
doctor's
family,
appointment,
going to the doctor, all of those issues.
So you talked about developers' material, mentioning those train stations that you would quite like to have, the extra ones. There is change afoot, as I understand it, because a lot of promises seem to have been made but not delivered. Can you give us an understanding of who's made the promises? I mean, is this state government saying, go forth and develop and we will build? Or is it developers saying, come and build your dream home and we will follow? Like, who's not delivering?
Well, look, the state government sets the agenda. They do that through their precinct structure plans and urban growth plans.
And we're seeing them do that right now. They've just announced 2 new suburbs.
Yes, yeah. And then council comes in on the back of that, and we're mandated to allow the building to occur. So then the building and the residential lots and the estates start to take form and develop, and that's where the issue is, I suppose. It's that, do we need the infrastructure and the funding to help support those residents who then, if that doesn't happen, we have situations like we do now with Thornhill Park, and we have Mount Atkinson, where the residents start to move in but the services aren't there.
So you'd like to see a little bit, I suppose, stricter rules around what you can promise.
Absolutely. And, not all developers are the same. I mean, this is a fantastic example here in Woodley of a great developer who has provided lots of services and assisted council to bring forward a lot of those services so the residents can enjoy, and people that live in Woodley absolutely love it. But
let me ask you about that. So we are sitting in the middle of a really smart, relatively new... How long has this centre been here?
This centre...
5, 6 years?
Yeah, less than 7.
Okay. Because the whole development is about 10 years old, I think, Aintree. But we've got a bakery, we've got a supermarket, we've got a fresh veg store, we've got gelato, we've got a liquor shop, we've got pharmacy, I think I saw a gym. So lots of your things that you would need. If you want to go clothes shopping, though, where do you go?
Yeah, so you probably need to go up to Caroline Springs, or you need to leave the municipality, go into the Brimbank shopping centre, which is down at Water Gardens, or Woodgrove in Melton, which is a shopping centre that's been there for a long time.
So you need more?
Absolutely. Yeah, we desperately need more. In fact, here in Rockbank, we have a developer who has now been given approval to commence the first shopping centre in Rockbank, and the approvals are in place, and we're waiting. Now it's in the hands of the developer to commence the works.
Well, I was going to say don't hold your breath. I don't know if that's a little cheeky, but I think you probably would agree with that.
Yeah.
Mayor, really good to see you, and thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you so much.
That is Councillor Steve Abboushi there. He is the Mayor of the City of Melton. I've just upgraded you. I don't know, maybe that's not an upgrade, maybe that's a downgrade.